Hello everyone, it is Wezaldo or Wesley, and today I'm going to be looking ahead to OP13 and playing Emu. Alright, in today's Road to National video, I have thrown together a Emu deck list to try out on the sim in the OP13 meta. The deck comes out in about a month, and I have a regional or I think it is a treasure cup actually, where Emu will be legal, as well as nationals will be after OP13, and 14 and half of EBO4. But I am planning to learn Emu, and if I can get the deck down really well, I will be playing it. Alright. So there are 5 tech cards in the deck. There are 5 spaces for it. I have 2 Sabo. It's a blocker and really good for the Roger matchup, I believe. 2 Shirahoshi, which is really good for putting your trash back at the bottom of the deck because it is pretty possible to deck out on this deck. By the later turns, you can hit like 10 cards in deck, which really like scary moment and can put you in a place where your opponent can just starve you and you just lose. Then the final card is for Ace, for KOing one of the big blockers on the board and trying to get through. Stussy KOs one of your own characters, or trashes one of your own characters, and then KOs one of your opponents. But the rest of the deck is for St. Charlotte. It's a searcher that fills up your trash. St. Mazjard, 2k pretty much. St. Saturn, a searcher that can't be removed. It's also one of the 5 elders. St. Mercury, one of the 5 elders and a blocker. Saint Nisjuro, one of the attacking elders. It gets rush and lowers the strength of a opponent's body. This is the Saint Mars. It trashes a card from your hand, so it fills up your trash and KOs a 5 or less character. And it also gets blocker. Saint Jupiter, it is the 5 elder that increases your board to 7k power as long as it's all 5 elders, and it's also a 2k. And then the Exodia 5 elders 10 cost card that plays all of them out of your trash, and a searcher event that fills up your trash, a 3k counter or KO event, and then a 4k counter or it counters the opponent's 7 cost stage, and then the 2 stages. All right, I'm going to go hop into a game. Alright, we are playing into a purple-blue Sanji. I'm pretty sure this deck wants to go second just so it can get the empty throne online on the correct turn. And I do have 2 searchers in here, so I keep. Alright, so my opponent searches a card. And I can't see that card, so that's pretty strong. I'm going to grab the Nostro just because I know I'm not going to be able to KO my opponent's Sanjis. Play the St. Charlotte. I'll grab a Mars, trash the Mars just because I'm not going to be able to use it, and then I will pass. I have a ton of these Nostros, which are going to be pretty good, I think, in the case that my opponent plays a bunch of Sanjis, just because I'll be able to reduce their power and then swing into them. But it's also something that I can play and just rush at my opponent's face to try and put some pressure on them early, get them to waste some of their events. Probably don't take this. Probably want to play pretty defensively early. I rest 3 in search. I'll grab I have a War Curie in hand. I have a Saturn on board. Probably grab another War Curie. And then we'll go 5 of life. I think Sanji's biggest weakness is that if you just go at life, their board isn't as scary if you can get kind of defensive. Though now I probably want to play this Nostro after this coming turn so I can swing into the Sanji. So I go up to 6, so I will be able to play this, but I don't want to yet because the Sanji's not rested. Alright, so I'll give a 1k here. Rest 3, play the War Curie, and then I'll go 2 6s at life, try and get some 2ks out of my opponent's hand, just so when I swing 7 later, over and over again, it feels a little bit better. I'm not sure if I'm using the leader effect quite as much as I should be. I'm going to use it this turn just because they only have 1 Sanji out. Drawn 2 of 5 elders, which is a little rough, but I have a Dawn up so I can counter. Maybe I take 1 this coming turn just because it is starting to hit the mid game. Ooh, Beer Luffy, that's kind of scary. This would be an interesting deck list. Kind of like it. Alright, I'll take this one. And then I'm fine countering this. I'll just take it just because I'm going to get my characters back later anyways. Alright, I have a 2k. Probably start with the Charla. grab a Mercury, trash one of my 5 elders. I've only trashed, I think, one of them. So I have 3 more, so I'm not too concerned, just because it gets through the deck so quick. And then this turn I play the Nostro. I'm gonna buff it up to 7, I think. Actually, before I do that, let me trash this, just to remember to do it. I think I leave 2 up, so I'll go 7 at this Sanji, reducing it by 2. And then because I can't swing at leader, I'll just end turn. I probably want to take out this Luffy next turn, but I'm gonna guess they're gonna swing into this Nostro just because they will anticipate me clearing the Luffy with it. Yeah. I'll block this one. And then I'll counter this one. I do hit 10, so I can 5 elders. So I'll swing 7 at this Luffy, reduce it. I'll probably get a blocker or an event here. Interesting. Then I just 5 elders. I'll trash the, I don't know if I have a Jupiter in there. Let me double check. Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and Mars. I have everything. Okay, so I'll just trash a Mars just because it's not good in this matchup. I'll play everything. I'll resolve the Saturn, grabbing a event. And then I can't really trash anything here, so I'm not going to do it. And I swing, I believe I swing into the Luffy and reduce the Reiju. That way I can clear the Reiju too. Ooh, gianting there, interesting. They can't resolve it. That's unfortunate that they didn't realize that. And I just clear board and end turn. Opponent's just cycling through their deck. A couple misplays there from my opponent, which is pretty rough. And I think I just take this one. I'm at 2 life, and I got a Shirahoshi, which is awesome, because I'll be able to cycle stuff back into my deck if I really need to. And then I block this. I have another Mercury in hand, so I can play that if need be. I'll search. I probably want to find another bunch of blockers or another 5 elders. I'll just start with this, just because it locks my opponent out of the game and pretty much guarantees me the win. I don't want to attach any down yet. Okay, that one has blocker and this one has blocker. So 7, 7, 8, and then I just end game probably here. I know my opponent can't, so I'll swing 9 with this blocker. It's another thank God for editing moment. My opponent's just sitting there. I mean, they might be able to counter out. They could have gotten like a 2k, 2k, 1k, which lets them counter out. Forgot to empty throne again this turn, so I got to get back onto that habit. Stages are just something I forget about. Even in Green Purple Luffy, I'll forget to use my stage when I'm playing in person. Good time to just talk about the deck. The deck feels really strong. I think it's really evident that there was some power creep in OP13, but I believe there's power creep in every anniversary set. I think the anniversary set kind of just sets the standard for the power of the next year. I don't really mind it. I think a lot of people dislike it, but personally, I don't really mind that the decks are getting stronger because it feels like they're also getting more unique. Granted, I don't want there to be extremely blatant power creep. Like, I feel like Roger's a bit blatant power creep, but it's one deck, and it wasn't even that good on release. It was only good once they got the promo, and yeah. I don't want the game to continue just every year power creeping in every single one of the decks, but it is nice to get fresh, strong decks every year. Just because playing against Shanks gets old after 6 months and stuff like that. So this will be a breath of fresh air. I do hope they release some pretty interesting decks in OP14. If it is legal during Nationals, maybe I'll play some other deck that I think might counter Emu and Ace. I am thinking about playing Ace in the future. I want to learn the deck. It is a little bit less intense than this deck, but it is way more expensive. Those Marcos are still $20 as of time of recording, so we'll see. I do have my playset. It's just kind of up to whatever I enjoy more. Yo, I am an Azili warrior. Love this deck. Or love this card. Monkey, it's a monkey, it's not a card. What am I talking about? I'm in One Piece mode just because I've been playing it for the video. This is a new map. I haven't played on it before. So, can these be placed up here? Anywhere? Oh yeah, that's a fun place for it. Alright. I'm gonna go for a... This be placed? I'll place this here. Oh, these buildings are annoying. Let's go Glaive Ricochet and Red Hot Rings for it. Oh, there's our win. Disconnected. Alright, this deck feels great. As you saw, it made my opponent quit and disconnect. I don't know why that happens against me so much. Maybe I just play a bunch of toxic decks. I am really excited for this deck. It feels really, really fun. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, I know it was a bit of a shorter one just because the game went by pretty quick. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. If you want to give me some feedback, ask any questions, just talk to me, leave a comment down below. I will always respond to them. If you really like this content and you want to see more, please consider subscribing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.